The transfer window is really heating up as Forest yet again get linked to another striker. Welcome to your transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a striker, a good striker that has been linked to Nottingham Forest. We'll give you the latest on Henderson as a De Gea development has emerged. And before we do all that, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, subscribing to Forest Fan TV if you are new, and a little request from me, if you are on either TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, please go and give us a quick follow, or on all three if those are your social media platforms. And finally, there's 24 hours for you to go and grab this signed Cooper shirt. There's only 29 available, so your odds for winning this one is huge. Click on the link in the description for football prizes. Let's get into the news and let's start with this striker link. Kyogo Furuhashi has been linked with Nottingham Forest, the Celtic scoring sensation who bags goal after goal after goal for them. In fact, in 2 years has put the ball into the back of the net 39 times in 56 appearances. Is that impressive? Yes. But we all know that the League of the Scottish one is not as clinical or as hard as the Premier League, for example. But should that matter? With a player of his ability, with a player of his technical and speed, and on top of that, his ability to hit the ball either as a box striker in the goal or from distance, he could actually work in the Premier League. On top of that, his attitude is exemplary, and he would be the kind of player that Steve Cooper may actually be attracted to. A player who is willing to put the hard graft in to learn to develop. Even at the age of 28, he still uses those traits and he still applies that to his game right now. Look, from the Celtic team, there's only two real players you would consider being good enough for the Premier League. It's him and Mida as well. And if we were to bring him in at a decent price, and the price I think would be around 15 to 20 million. I don't think that's a massive risk. Let's compare it to the price we paid for Christopher Wood, which was 19 million as a total package. If we're going to bring Kyogo in at 15 mil to 20 mil, and you're going to tell me he's as good as Chris Wood, then I would argue that he is definitely better than Chris Wood. The question is he better than Taiwo? And that is the question that I think will still need to be answered. Because yes, it's all well and good scoring those goals in up north, but can you do it in the Premier League with the physicality, with everything else that's involved? I think he can. I think he has the right traits that would transfer to the Premier League. I really like how he's, a box style striker. He can score from anywhere. You give him a chance and he usually puts it in, and his goal record speaks for itself. However, it still comes with a risk. But at that price, somewhere between 15 and 20 million, I think it's a risk worth taking. Where to get a striker who's returned those kind of goals in this day and age is going to cost you north of 50 million. This could be a little diamond bargain. And these are the style bargains that Forest will need to put together this summer transfer window, because bringing in an Osimhen from Napoli is currently out of the question. Bringing in those high profile players, we still aren't quite there yet to do it. We do have to take risks in this window, and Kyogo could be that little gem of a risk that Forest take. Now, having said all that, do I expect him to come to Forest? No, because Postman Pat has gone to Spurs now, the ex-Celtic manager, and he will probably bring him to Spurs. They have that connection. It's a player he trusts. And Levy doesn't like to spend too much money, so this may be a player that interests Spurs for a lot of different reasons. However, the links today that are coming out are linking Kyogo to Forest, not to Spurs, but I expect those links to develop over the coming days and weeks. As I said, I would risk it and I would take him, but what do you guys think about him? He wasn't on my shopping list, nor really on my radar, to be honest, but he is a player that I have admired, and that return on goals to games for the last 2 seasons gets me a little curious about him. Get your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's talk about Manchester United for a minute, and in specific David De Gea. How does this link into Nottingham Forest? Well, it all surrounds the Dean Henderson deal. David De Gea has been offered a lucrative deal from a team in Saudi Arabia, which he has rejected. He has opted, or wants to opt, to stay at Manchester United. Why? Because he still wants to play Premier League football. This in itself has the domino effect onto Dean Henderson, because Manchester United, although are very close to agreeing with Forest on prices, etc. for the transfer, and with Dean Henderson already having personal terms agreed with Nottingham Forest, everything is in line. The only thing holding this deal up is David De Gea putting pen to paper. This is a huge indicator that this is getting closer and closer, because he has rejected this lucrative deal and has said he would like to stay at Manchester United. This to me is a half green light for the Dean Henderson deal to go ahead. Look, do I expect even if De Gea doesn't sign for United, Henderson still come to Nottingham Forest? I really do, because I feel that he purposely burnt all his bridges earlier on last season when he did that TalkSport interview and said those beautiful words about Manchester United, and I couldn't agree with him more. I think if De Gea was not to sign, and there's no guarantee that he will be number one with Erik Seven Hag next season, I still think Manchester United will recruit another goalkeeper. There's talks of Costa coming in from Portugal, etc. So I'm not worried about this Dean Henderson deal. However, I would like it done and dusted as quickly as possible, because then he can just continue and focus on his Forest career and the path over the summer. So let's see how that develops. I am very confident. I just don't want to jinx everything. But the good news is De Gea is indicating more and more so now that he wants to stay at Manchester United. What do you guys think? Do you like this deal? It's still sounding like it's going to be in and around 20 mil, which I think is a fantastic price. Get your thoughts in the comments down below. Jesse Lingard, as we all know, leaving Nottingham Forest, but has come out and put an Instagram post up saying goodbye to Forest and the fans. Let me read this one out to you. He said, "Thank you to everybody at Nottingham Forest, from the fans to all the backroom staff, and of course the players. Been a roller coaster journey, but we stuck together through thick and thin and achieved our goal." Heart emoji. "It's been a pleasure." Handshake emoji. And then he's got hashtag waka waka. Look, we've said what we needed to say about Jesse Lingard. I think it's nice that he's put a post out thanking the fans. Talking about achieving goals and objectives, for me, if he's talking as the collective, fine. If he's talking as the individual, then what are you smoking, bro? You did absolutely nothing this season on the pitch. I think he was more useful off the pitch than on the pitch, but as we keep saying here, a very, very expensive cheerleader. However, having said all that, I always like it when a player acknowledges the fan base and thanks them for their support, because one thing we did was give him backing throughout the season. But boy, oh boy, was he not good on the pitch. But that is what it is with Jesse Lingard. Anyway, get your thoughts in on that and all the other stories. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new here. It is completely free to do. Go and quickly follow us on all the socials. And don't forget to follow our new second channel, FFTV The High Press. The link is in the description for that as well. Bit of homework for you guys to do, so go get that done. We'll see you on the next video. And come on, you Reds.